This is a video chat presentation of Imperial Petroleum Inc. Imperial is listed on OTC markets as a QX stock, which is the upper tier, and trades under the ticker IPMN. See, just a really solid climb the stock's put together since around March. Tried to find a bottom, moving averages all pulled together. Like stock price just took off. Got a little toppy, battled the resistance at $1.75. Retraced, but held a good portion of the gain, sitting right on top of the 50-day moving average now. That's something that we try and pay attention to. A little bit of an uptick in volume. You can see 107,000 shares traded, pushing on a short-term upper end resistance right now. So it's going to hit the watch list, see if it's going to break through that resistance and how it performs. Kind of per the usual, when a stock makes a strong climb like that, you're going to see a retrace eventually. That's what's going on. But now we've got the histogram bar starting to trend back towards zero, which tells us another bullish cross could be coming. Any sort of retrace, you always look for that zero line or somewhere thereabouts to hold, and then look for another bullish cross, try and keep this MACD over top of zero. It's a bullish long-term indication if that happens. Great example of a play coming off a pinch, PPO with a strong trend afterwards. It's a very nice look. You see that ADX actually got up around 80, even broke through 80. At that time, that's when your eyes need to open up for a possible reversal. Of course, it's just made a really strong move afterwards. Right now, the ADX, though, in a relatively neutral position, not getting a whole lot from it at this point. So you just pay attention for a break to try and happen one way or the other. Some sharp movement going on with the 7 MFI, pulling the 14 along with it. Still very early on. Again, this can almost be looked at as a bottom play. Stock came off its highs, made a big, strong retrace, now starting to push back upward. Those sort of things, you start tying that into the resistance levels and look for the breaks. Of course, it's a solid uptrend in the accumulation distribution. Still been a lot of buying going on. Let's look for that top get taken out for new highs to continually be made. Saw the slide and the shaking money flow. Really basically held in the green. Maybe just the slightest dip right through here. But buying pressure still overcoming selling pressure. CCI starting to trend back upward. That's something that I always look for. Full stow looks like it's trying to bottom out and trying to make a little bit of pushback through 20. See a little bit of momentum coming into the play. You're just never really going to get a whole lot from the tricks. Kind of similar to the MACD. Just look for a rotation somewhere around zero and see an uptrend try and continue. But on any sort of retrace, it's a lagging indicator. It's difficult to get a strong read from it. RSIs, like to see them all bunched together like that, pushing through 50. You can see all three on top of that key portion of the indicator. So we're getting a pretty good look from the lower indicators and the RSI that this has potential to try and make another move. Now again, those just offer a helping hand. It all comes back down to the candles. You can see it's got a support level right there around $1.25, but it's certainly stronger there at $1.30. That was where it opened the day yesterday. You can see it pushed up, closed at $1.40, and that's the resistance level I'm talking about in the short term, kind of channeling between $1.30 and $1.40 over the last couple weeks. That's going to be the resistance level I'm going to look for it to push through, and I want to see it hold that support because just as importantly, it's holding that 50-day moving average. If it falls through this bottom support, IPMN doesn't pick up a whole lot of support until back down here around $1. So that $1.30 and the 50-day moving average carry quite a bit of importance to me at this point. Now on the upside, I do see a little bit of more resistance coming in here around $1.50, but I'd call that secondary. This $1.70 area is really going to be the key mark for me. You can see it did push above it, $1.85, $1.75, but could never close at that level. The $1.70 was definitely the resistance point. On any sort of upward movement, I'll be looking for a close above $1.70, which will greatly increase the likelihood that it could take out this $1.85. Now, again, charts are dynamic. You have to see what happens if it gets to that point, if all of a sudden it starts beating on $1.85 and it sets itself up as a new resistance level. But at this point in time, the $1.70 is the key point I'll have my eye on. That's a pretty substantial upside from $1.40, more than a 20% increase. And those are the type of things technical traders look for. A close stop loss, a stronger upside, and the indicators trying to align with the support level, giving it a helping hand to try and potentially make a move. So those are things I'm going to be looking for in the IPMN chart. But as always, this is merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching and trade smart.